Highlights then of round number 7 of the Intelligent Money British GT Championship. How are we going to cram all of this into just a few minutes? What a race we were treated to. It all started right on the first lap with some brilliant 2 and 3 wide racing early on. Graham Davidson for Paddock Motorsport was particularly punchy, making a brilliant double overtake there on Nick Halstead and Alex Maliakin to move himself into an early podium place. It was James Cottingham who was chasing down Adam Ballon for the lead early on. The Mercedes actually tapping the wall on the way into Eau Rouge, and we had for a good 20 minutes or so a 5-way fight for the lead, which then dropped down to 4 cars with a spin for the SRO Motorsport car of Morgan Tilbrook after contact from Graham Davidson. Davidson then made friends with Adam Ballon, paint traded between the two as they fought for the lead out of the chicane. Davidson would eventually find a way through, not before there was a scary accident for Mia Fluid, tagged into contact by Michael Igo. Igo later penalised for that, with Fluid's penalty being a non-finish in the tyres at the top of Ardennes. For the lead battle then, it was brilliant door-to-door racing, literally, between Nick Halstead and James Cottingham, with Halstead making his way through on the run into Eau Rouge and pulling clear before the pit stops, which happened midway through the race. There were success penalties to be served for a number of front-running cars, which meant that in the end the Enduro car would temporarily gain some ground. They were actually back into the top 5 for a while despite that early spin. Sandy Mitchell though was fastest in qualifying yesterday of the pros in GT3, and he was making good on that promise of pace in the race, moving forwards in the second half of it, whilst Team Brick within GT4 were trying desperately to hang on to a Pro-Am class victory. Bobby Trundley had Darren Turner, of all people, chomping at the bit to try and get through, fighting for the class lead, and both of them gaining on the overall GT4 podium runners at the same time. Then a mistake, possibly, for Phil Keane, certainly a spin at the top of Ardennes. The GT4 battling for much of the final half now was centred around Tom Edgar's Toyota, who had lost the lead to the R Racing Aston Martin and then succumbed to the pressure from the Team Parker Racing Porsche and dropped down into 3rd and would ultimately lose more places before the flag. Fox Motorsport, though, will take a victory on the road here at Spa to claim a race win in round number 7 of the championship, with Jamie Stanley hanging on through the final part of the race